This is the first proper shoulder bag I've made. The whole thing cost me like $15–20. And honestly, the most expensive thing is the nylon thread. I used a little more than one roll, so that's about $10–13. So this nylon thread is going to make the bag really sturdy, but I'm also going to be using a white yarn with it. It gives the bag a little bit more body and it gives a little bit more color as well. I also got this bag bottom. As you can see, it's got these holes, so I can directly work stitches along the edge. I also like that it stays in this shape, so you can carry heavy things in the bag without the stuff poking out through the bottom. We're also going to need a strap. You can get a different looking one as long as it has hooks like this. I'm also going to be using 2 key rings to connect the bag with the strap. The zipper is optional for you, but I do want my bag to have a proper closure. And to actually attach the zipper, I'm also going to need a small crochet hook. I think anything below 2mm should be good, but as long as it can go through the fabric like this, it's fine. Also, you're going to need a yarn needle and scissors. In the first part of the video, you're going to be seeing me using a 4mm crochet hook, but then I didn't like the tension. I felt it was getting tighter, so I redid everything using a 5mm crochet hook. So this is the side that will be the bottom. Pull the yarn through from the inside of the bag. Tie a knot. And then turn to the outside. Yarn over and pull up a loop from the same hole. Now that I have 2 loops, I'm going to yarn over and pull through to make a single crochet. I mark this stitch with a stitch marker. And then in the next stitch, pull up a loop and make a single crochet. In this corner one, I'll make 2 single crochets. So I'll make one first, and then in the same hole, make another single crochet. From the next stitch, 1 single crochet in each hole, but in the rest 3 corner ones, I made 2 single crochets in each of them. After the last single crochet, I just made a slip stitch in the first stitch. To begin round 2, chain 1. In the same stitch, make a single crochet. And then mark this first stitch. Make 1 more single crochet in the same stitch. I'm increasing again on this second round because I want the bag to be a bit bigger and more roomy. So on this side, I'm going to work 2 single crochets in each stitch. So after the 2 corner stitches, from the next stitch, I just work 1 single crochet in each stitch. When I get to the corner ones, I'm going to work 2 single crochets in each of the next 7 stitches. And after that, 1 single crochet in each stitch. Then I should have 3 stitches left. Work 2 single crochets in each stitch. I only noticed I accidentally worked 2 extra stitches at the very end. So these 2 stitches shouldn't be there because that was not a stitch. But then I slip stitch in the first stitch and chain 1. From round 3, I just worked 1 single crochet in each stitch, no increase. But instead of inserting in the top 2 loops of a stitch, I inserted in the center of the stitch between the 2 vertical loops here. And on the other side, also between these 2 legs. And then just make a single crochet as usual, like this. This is called waistcoat stitch. It's a knit look stitch and it's also sturdier than the usual single crochet stitch. So make 1 single crochet like that in the center of the stitch. Mark the first stitch and then just simply make 1 single crochet like this in each stitch for this round. This round is a bit hard to work because we just did increase, so the stitches are all squeezed together. Also, this is the last round that I slip stitch to join. From the next round, I still work 1 single crochet in the center of each stitch, but when I get to the beginning of the round, as you can see, the slip stitch creates a seam with horizontal bars like these, so I'm just gonna directly work a single crochet in the first stitch and then mark it. So from there, just work 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around to the last one, and then directly begin the next round by working a single crochet in the first stitch. So I just repeated the same round until my back is 5 inches tall, and the finished one is almost 7 inches. Then we're going to attach the key rings, so I marked the 2 stitches on the side. Even though I started round 1 on one side, my first stitch is actually this blue stitch marker because the first stitch shifted to the left as I worked more rounds. So as you can see, the side stitch is actually this purple one. Also, make sure you have the same number of stitches between the stitch markers. Then I'm going to work the next round to this first marker here. I'll attach the ring with 3 stitches, so I stop at 1 stitch before the marker. To attach the ring, put it against the wrong side of the bag, insert hook, and make sure it goes through the ring as well. Pull yarn through and make a single crochet. Do the same thing with the next 2 stitches. Now the ring is attached. From the next stitch, I'll leave out the ring and not go through it. Then on this side, I'll repeat the same steps and attach a second ring. After that, I continued working to this side, And I'll continue attaching the ring as I work more rounds. So I'm at 1 stitch before the 3 stitches that are already attached, and I'm going to attach this next stitch to the ring. But after experimenting, I feel like going through the ring from the other side with it pushed down looks better, so that's what I did. And for the next 3 stitches, I left out the ring. And the stitch right after it, I pushed the ring down and went through it to attach it to the stitch. Then I'll work normal single crochets and do the same thing on the other side. Then I started the next round. When I get to 1 stitch before the ring, I'm going to attach that stitch to the ring, going through it normally. Then the next 4 stitches without going through the ring. The stitch after, attach it to the ring again. But the angle is a bit tricky, so I just used my hand to push the yarn through, create a loop and put it on the hook. Do the same thing on the other side, then we're done attaching the rings. Next, I'll start working back and forth in rows to make the cover of the bag. So I'll work to the other side to this stitch. Then I just chain 1 and turn. Now on this side, each stitch has 2 legs. When I insert my hook, I'm going to insert between them. The first stitch is a bit different. It's got 1 leg in front, 1 leg at the back. So I'll have to insert from the side to go between them. I'm going to mark this stitch so it's easier to find. From the next stitch, it's easier to see, so between these two, and make sure I go through the V on the other side as well. So like this, between the 2 legs. And as you can see, the pattern still looks very consistent. So I worked to this other ring just right before it, and then I'm going to chain 1 and turn again to begin the next row. I'll continue repeating this row for a total of 21 rows. Then cut the yarn and pull it through. Use a yarn needle to weave in the ends. Next, we're going to attach the zipper. First, I'm going to make slip stitches along the edge, but I'll use the nylon thread because it's sturdier, and a 2mm hook. I'll show you with the white yarn first so you can see what I'm doing, but also you can turn the brightness of your device up. It should help you see better. So first, make a slip knot, insert the hook and pull the yarn through. Then move forward along the edge about 1 stitch distance. Insert hook again and pull up 1 more loop. Then make a slip stitch. Then just continue doing this, pull up a loop, and then slip stitch. By doing this, we are creating stitches along the edge, so later we can easily sew the zipper onto the back. So when I get to the end of this side, I'm gonna move across to the other side and continue making slip stitches. Find out how much length I need, and once I get there, turn and work my way back. To join it to the beginning, I just cut the yarn and pull it through, then use my needle to connect the stitches before fastening it off. I'm going to attach the zipper to the inner side of the bag to the row just below the rings. So I just go through the stitch on the edge and then through both legs of the V on the side of the bag. Tie a few knots. Then with each stitch, I just go in the stitch on the zipper and then through the legs of the V, and keep repeating that with the next stitch. At the end of the round, tie the threads together to fasten off. Next, I'm gonna work one more row along this edge to give it a more finished look. Allocate the middle stitch of the front edge and attach the yarn. I'm going to use reverse single crochet stitch, and with this stitch we work towards the right. So insert hook in the stitch to the right, pull the yarn through and make a single crochet. I'm also carrying this short end while working the stitches. I continued doing this all the way around. In the last stitch, after I pulled double loop, I made a slip stitch instead of a single crochet. Then cut the yarn, pull through, and hide it on the wrong side of the bag. The bag looks very finished already, but I still wanted to add some buttons on the cover, so I got these clips and I just sewed them on like this.